Hey everyone, today's video is a kind of 4 month review of how far my base and my alliance has got in 4 months of playing Infinite Galaxy. Now I'm going to try and not go into too much detail. I already tried recording this once and I looked down at the recording and it was 45 minutes. So I was like, oh okay, I'm going to have to cut this down quite a lot. So this is not going to be too much in detail about the server history or whatever. I'm going to make a dedicated video for that since I had a lot to talk about right there. So I'm going to make a dedicated video for the history of Nebula 54. This video is just for kind of like an overview of where my alliance started and where it's at now. So I'll just show you kind of where the alliance started and where it's at right now, and then go into kind of my star base and the rankings of the server, and kind of show you what it looks like in October 2021, where we started in June 2021 on Nebula 54, and see what 4 months of progress looks like. So we started in this little system up here, we took all the systems around here, our academy took this down here, and our farm down there. That alone took me 10 minutes in the other video. Then we moved into this inner sector. Con took here, our academy down here, and then our farm kind of took all this space while we were there. And now we're in the AGN, where we have Con here, C1N here. We've got our farm right here, and then we've got another farm because we grew a bit too big right here, C4N. We obviously own the core now. We've been Princeps for I forget how many cycles in a row now. Let me just check. So it's been 3 cycles, and we've kind of established a rule in the nebula, a fair one that's been agreed with all the other alliances, and I'll show you that right now. Actually, something very impressive about our server is the variety in power rankings. So you see here, top 3 different alliances, very rare to see. Normally what you'll see is one alliance kind of holds the top spots. There might be 1 or 2 that are in like secondary alliances, or kind of like the Brawler alliance. It's kind of, it didn't start as a part of the coalition but has moved in because their power is respected, and they kind of just didn't want to go off and join the top alliance just because the top alliance was the top alliance. But here we've got 3 different alliances, kind of not all together. They're not like part of a coalition. We've got Con, we've got BMR, we've got CBR in the top 3, and then we've got one more CBR, we've got a bunch of BMR, and then we've got quite a lot of Japan and Con spread over the next top 50. Alliance power, again, Con is number 1, followed by BMR, who are mostly American. We're mostly European now. We used to be multinational. Then we've got the Russians, then we've got mostly American, I would say. Then we've got mostly Japanese, and then we've got another European one, Chinese, and so on. So now let's have a look at me personally, or actually let's look at the alliance first off. So just approve that guy. I've already talked to him. So the alliance is at just under 1.6 billion power. Our reserves is quite high. We're level 15, which is very high. Our gifts is even higher. Now I think this might be one of the highest in any nebula. We've got our gift level to level 15 so far, with Treaty Tech Chest number 4. That's because we had probably one of the biggest spenders the game has ever seen, who helped kind of establish that control of the nebula. Sorry about the clicking there. This is our alliance tech, so let me just do my part and donate everything. So production, we haven't really put a lot into. We got the level 1s of some stuff, and then some of these ones we got up to level 4 or 5, but we haven't really invested in production. We've kind of got all level 3, 4s for our war. We haven't again really focused on that, and then our other is actually where we've been focusing most of our time. So we actually have the building visibility, which people don't usually get until very late in the server health. Our number 1 focus was always Alliance territory, so that's always been at max. We just need to up our alliance level to up that more, and then we kind of get all these hovering around an average of 5, excluding help time, because that's actually really good. It lets you get stuff done quicker, the smaller stuff at least, and especially when you've got the big builds for example, a 7-day build for your command center, that takes like 7 days. The help from that can knock off 2 days. That's insane. So yeah, that's our alliance. We have the most territory in the server. It's sitting at 30 right now. We should be getting 31 soon. 28 planets, and we get quite a lot of attacks daily. Then we go out of that, and we're going to look at my spaceport personally and see how far my spaceport has got after 4 months of playing. So first off, I'm going to just go into here for all the stats nerds. So today I crossed over into 26 million. I should be higher, but I took part in quite a lot of wars and learned quite a lot of heavy lessons in how not to attack. So I lost quite a lot of ships. You can actually see here that's the leadership that I've lost from attacks, and then you can kind of see the split of power here. So we've got 4 million from our building, just under 5 million actually from our buildings, 3.2 from our tech, 12.2 for fleet, and flagships at about 2.5. And I'm not going to go into too much detail of all this, other than I've only failed once, and that's when none of my fleets were there and they teleported on top of me. I'm not going to go into too much detail about all this. If you're interested in seeing any particular stat, you can just pause the video as I scroll by it. But what I will say is my fleets are mainly destroyers. So my number 1 fleet is my Hades. It's only reached rank 9 a couple of days ago, and that's been one of my main investments. There's been 2 things I invest in quite a lot with real life money. It's been my Hades and my crew. Crew's kind of like a hidden power, and you don't really see it reflected based on your total power, but you will get a lot of benefits from having a very good crew. Anyway, oops, sorry, closed that early. So that's my main fleet. We're just under 6 million. I've finally got my secondary fleet. You can see that's mostly full of top tier ships, and that's just under 5 million with the proper ships. That will be about 5 million. Then we've got just a Galler fleet, and then we've got another Galler fleet. Now these aren't set up the best they can be because I kind of put them together, sent them out, made that video, and now one of them's already back. But anyway, that's my fleets. Then we've got my crew. Now you can actually compare this to my unboxing video earlier. That was 900 Rebel Citation devices I unboxed, and this is where it's at now. So every Galaxy Star I invest quite a lot into crew, be it unboxing or just leveling them up. I've kind of got them to an average of about 12, level 12, at least all the ones that I use, and then all the ones I don't use are down there. So this is what I'm talking about with how crew's kind of like a hidden benefit to you. So this is nearly 10% increased HP. That's 8.6% increased build speed. This person alone is getting 15% shield and then 50% armor. But then we look at this one, and she's given us just under 13.5% armor and shield from one ability, and then on our second ability it's the same but for HP. That's why I invest quite a lot into crew. I think it doesn't reflect as well in your battle power, your total battle power, but behind the scenes it's doing a lot for you to invest into crew. So that's where my crew's at. I'll show off my command center. Now I've kind of rushed my command center's level, so you'll see here that that's only 22. We've got another one 22 there, 23 there. I'm pushing on to 27, but I kind of only level up what I need to get my 27 up, so I need to invest a bit more into some of these lower level ones, especially flagship dock, because my flagship is constantly at the level limit. So let's see what we're at right now. We are at 42 and we just upgraded that, so that's 3 levels per one, and I definitely need to up this because I waste a lot of XP not gaining on my main fleet, which is right now sitting at level 35 each. Show off my flagships real quick. So of course my Hades is my number 1. I've got it to rank 9 now. You can see there. I don't know if I'm going to level up more. It's quite expensive to level up now. It's about 30 to 40 British pounds to get just 1 level up, which is insane. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing that anymore. my crew and outfitting isn't very optimal. I need to do a lot more research into that before I can get that perfect. But right now I'm going for leadership on my Hades, and then on my secondary I've got the increased battle power to my destroyers attack and HP from this woman here, Amelia, and that's on my purple Hades right here. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. But yeah, I'm very happy with that. I invested all my purple points into this, so that's why it's already rank 11. I pretty much haven't invested into any other ships because I put everything into these 2 ships so that my fleet is the best it can be. And then we get this, we level this up passively over time, and then just go through them all so you can kind of see where its power is at, how much it's contributing, and see its levels. Now, in my tier list, I trashed on the Titan. I have to say, after playing the game a lot more, I still think as a free-to-play player, you should not care about this ship. I think you can't even buy blueprints for it in the blueprint shop, but the way that you get it in the first place is being high in Galaxy Star, which, for how bad the rewards are, it costs a lot of money to get in the top ranks. So I still don't think a free-to-play player should ever aspire to get a Titan. But if you are a paid player, it is actually very good. This attack increase is very, very good. And then you get another attack increase when it's PvP. It's an attack. I've been convinced after my tier list video that attack is way more important than I thought it was. So yeah, Titan I'm actually investing into right now, getting that level up. And of course we've got this ship right here, the Poseidon. It's brand new and I've invested a little bit into it. I've got it to rank 3, and that's pretty much it. I still haven't unlocked the Athena. I don't think it's a good ship. I don't think you should get it. Haven't unlocked this. It's costs a lot to unlock and I just don't want to spend that much money. But if you do want to, it's of course a very good ship. And the Apollo, I just haven't got the blueprints to get yet. Anyway, let's back out of there. What else do I have to show off? My research. So I'll be very brief with this because it took me a long time in the previous video. I haven't invested much into resource, so I'll scroll through it. So my main, it focuses on nickel steel and plasma farming. Nickel steel from planets and plasma from regular asteroids / gas clouds, or whatever you want to call them. And in my alts, I've got 3 other accounts. They focus on deuterium and tritium. Tritanium, sorry. Yeah, that's my resource tree. Haven't really, I kind of get level 1 because if you didn't know, level 1 of every research gives you a lot more power than subsequent levels for how much you're spending. So I get level 1 whenever a galaxy star pops up to get that little bit extra power. Development, now this is where I put my speed ups at the very start, because I think stuff like the speed increase at the very start of the game is very worthwhile. So I put a lot into that from the very start, and then from there it hasn't really progressed that much. I get these every now and again for Galaxy Star, but it hasn't been that big of a push for me. More so this has been a push, but it gets very expensive towards the end, so I haven't really put that much into it. And then of course these I can't unlock until I get a higher research center with a higher command center. Military, now this is where you're probably going to be putting most of your time into. I wasn't sure which ship I wanted to go for, like specialist type, so I'm kind of all over the place at the start, but eventually I do decide, I'm just going to scroll through this again, I do decide to focus on destroyers, and I'm kind of refocusing on frigates again, both of them, not just frigates or just destroyers, so that my secondary fleet can be frigates. But I'm still kind of torn on if I'm going to do that or not, because I think it's going to be my Poseidon, not Poseidon, it's going to be kind of ships that don't lean towards a specific ship type, that flagships that don't lean towards a specific ship type that I'm going to go for, so I kind of can do whatever I want with my secondary fleet. Then we've got command. It's kind of standard. It's a very cheap tech tree. Sorry, I'm losing my words. It's a very cheap tech tree, so I use it for Galaxy Star again. The important ones are obviously Art of Command. If you are getting frequently attacked, of course, fortify your defenses. But then this like flagship power-ups, they don't really matter. They're cheap, so they're good for Galaxy Star, but that's about it. And yeah, that's my research. It's kind of at a point where it's not progressing that much, just because it costs too much for where I'm at, and I sped up a lot to get to where it's at. Defense platforms, I've only got those at level 8s and 7s at the moment. I haven't really invested into these because, again, they cost a lot. It's nearly 500,000 plasma. Don't really want to get those if we're not in a big war. So I've kind of left them where they are out of fear of wasting all my resources. I'm not that active with my farms. So yeah, I think that's it for showing off my base. I've of course got all the building slots unlocked. Right now I'm rebuilding my Galler crew because I lost them in the recent war. And yeah, that's where we're at. I'll kind of give you a little bit of an overview of where other alliances are. The scroll has been buggy again. There we go. So we've got BMR, who's number 2. We've got C1N, which is our second alliance. We've got Japan. We've got the Russians. We've got another American alliance up here. And then we've got CBR, who's the newest member of our AGN. But yeah, that's it for this video. Clocked in at just about 15 minutes. That's not as bad as the 45 minutes I was at before. I hope you enjoyed it. And this is kind of like just a snapshot of where a Nebula / Spaceport / Alliance could be in 4 months' time. And I'd be interested to know where yours is at in 4 months' time. Are you better than us? Are you weaker than us? Why do you think you're better? Why do you think you're weaker? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, have a good day.